Well, welcome to Oriole Park at at Aquila Field. And for today's second matchup against the Edison Tommies. So St. Louis Park girls fast pitch softball hosting a non-conference game against the Edison Tommies. Coach Calhoun brought the girls over tonight, and we are enjoying a beautiful night here at the park. Again, I'm Mike Resnick. Joining me tonight in the booth is longtime friend and Oriole announcer John Fromm, and we've got a new visitor in Steve Swanson. So welcome to Steve and John. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, well, look, we're taking a look here. Orioles, the home team in the second game here. And leading off will be number 5, Danielle Martinez. Martinez played center field in the first game, and she swings at the first pitch. So going around the horn here for the Orioles, we've got sophomore number 7, that's Mackenzie Evenson on the mound. Mackenzie played third base in the first game. Catching is back at catcher is Shea Swanson. She's the backstop. And there's a hard hit over to Maddie McIntyre, and she makes a beautiful scoop and a throw over to senior captain Lauren Myra. So going around the horn there, you've got Lauren Myra at first. You've got Savannah Romero at second. You've got Resnick over at third, McIntyre at short. Out in the outfield, and we'll get that in just a second here. And there's a hit right back to Mackenzie, who goes over to Lauren for the second out. And that was number 16. That was Haley Irwin, who pitched the first game.
No relation to Wild Bill Irwin or Tim Irwin, the former Viking.
No, that is correct. So 2 outs now. And looking out into the outfield, I believe we've got number 2. That's Megan Perkins in left. And first pitch swing, she pulled that one. She got around on that.
This is going to be a fun game for us because, and I mean this in all sincerity, a lot of balls are going to be put in play, and you really like to see some of the defenders for Park. And that left side with the junior Resnick as well as the 7th grader flashing the glove early in the arm.
Ooh, and a big swing there. This is number 10. That's Oshana Reich. Oshana batted third and played first base in the first game, and she's back at the third spot again. And I'll let Mackenzie pitch here. And there's strike 3. So 3 up and 3 down. No runs on no hits and no one left on base. So a nice job by Mackenzie, and also got a little help in the field. And finishing that out, we had Maria Barr was in center field, and that was Amanda Selly, number 15, the junior, in right.
And I don't know, as Swati's putting some data together for game 2, I just wanted to say it'll be fun. I don't remember. Did Mackenzie get the start on the game 2 on Wednesday? Did she kind of considered the second of the 2 heads and the 2-headed monster?
Yeah, as it looks like it's
called Oriole pitcher.
It looks like Mackenzie will be number 2, and I know they were warming up Savannah over there, and Lauren Myra, as well as I'm thinking of somebody else. Oh, Anya have also pitched in the past, and last year they brought Anya up at the end of the season, or she played quite a bit of the season, but they tried her at pitcher at the end against a makeup game at Columbia Heights, or as our friend Clem Haskin would say, Columbia Height.
Yes, Clem the Gem. Everything was singular. Hopkin, Columbia Height. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some of the other fun nicknames they had.
Inver Grove Height. Yeah,
the Gopher will beat the Badger.
That's right.
I used to call Clem, my nickname for him was Mr. Singular.
Because
he hated the plurals.
And that wasn't the medication, for those of you listening at home.
We want to do a special shout out here as we're getting ready to start the bottom of the first inning. We talked in the first game that tough week in Oriole Nation with the declaring of the more than likely passing of Evan McManus and his father Damien. Damien was a longtime volunteer here with Park 16, who, along with Ira Gerwitz, called literally, 10 to 15 soccer games a year. And I know there'll be a plaque eventually put together, I'm sure, to present to the McManuses and honor them. And so this one hits close to home, and that's why, in a way, this is therapeutic for us to maybe do our first spring game of the year so close after the passing, because I know Damien, Jonah knows, Evan as well. So just wanted to mention that again.
Yeah, no, it's a good shout out, John. So leading off for the Orioles in the bottom of the first here is the pitcher number 7, Mackenzie Evenson.
She's playing the number 1 position, and she's batting in the number 1 spot.
And she looks low at ball 3. I believe it's 3-0. The umpires today switched spots, so the base umpire now is behind the plate, and the plate umpire is now down the line at first. And nice to have 2 officials. Oh, that hit her. I think it looked like it might have hit her. It hit her hand, and but she's smiling, and here she is down at first base. That's Mackenzie having a nice little chat with Coach Stephanie. And Stephanie's had a lot of company down there today, so it's nice to have one more join the party. And this brings up senior Lauren Myra. Lauren's playing first base again, second game, and there goes Mackenzie on the first pitch, and she's safe standing up.
Yep,
so they switched back, and the catcher, again, they went back to the catcher who started the game, and that's Pao Yang, and she is a freshman.
Pao Yang. I always love what Lauren does with the bat the last couple of years, how she spins it like that. And I know your daughter used to do the spinny thing a lot.
Yeah,
but she's changed her philosophy.
I've seen a lot of them do it, and one of the things that is always, see where she puts her hand out?
Yeah.
And, you know, most batters will put the backhand out. You're supposed to give time to the umpire, not to the pitcher.
Right,
and,
right.
And so
it's kind of voluntary. If that pitcher doesn't want to do what Lauren wants her, she's just going to heave that thing.
That's right.
I don't know if you're catching that on camera, but you can't really ask the pitcher not to throw the ball.
You can, whether she listens or not. That's a whole other story. So the ball just drops short in front of Yang, and that'll be ball 2.
Now, is this Lauren's 4th year starting for the Orioles as well?
I think this is her second year starting, and yeah, she played quite a bit her sophomore year, and she had the opportunity to play with her older sister, Morgan. So, and then she'll take ball 4 and scamper down to first base. So now base is first and second, and that'll bring up the third baseman, number 9, Lauren Resnick. Lauren's a junior this year, and she pitched the first game tonight, and now she's playing third base. She and Mackenzie Evenson flip-flop spots. And Lauren watches a high one. Oh, wow. Well, so either they're making the strike zone a little wider, or
right, or higher,
or trying to speed up the game a little bit. And Resnick leans into that. Oh, it gets through the left side, and now we've got bases loaded for the 4-hitter, Maria Barr.
Yeah, Lauren waited on that well, and nice to have the sacks full of wildlife early in the first here.
Think about this. I
don't know if we've used that expression before. Sacks full of wildlife.
I don't know that we've done the wildlife. We've done bases full of birds.
Right.
We've done Oriole loaded, and
I like it when the Orioles play Cooper. St. Louis Park plays Cooper because you got the Hawks and the Orioles. The Hawks are a bird of prey, so in theory they should attack down on the Orioles.
And in the recent years they have. We haven't played Osseo when we could go Oriole or Mono Imano, as they say.
That was a heated battle back in the early 80s when Scott Miller took his talents from St. Louis Park to Osseo, and his best friend Tom Wright was still at Park. And when they battled in the hockey rink, I was there one game for varsity.
Really? Yeah, I remember boy, that really caused years of torment out at the cabin.
Westwood was never the same in 8th and 9th grade football when Scott Miller sold his soul to Osseo. And if you know Scott, he was a longtime Aquila player, and then he moved after 7th grade, and he was a great football player.
Uh-oh, here we go. They're going to have a play at the plate. Evenson breaking from third, and she's safe on the pass ball. Myra rounds third, but it hangs tight, and Resnick moves over to second. So now we've got second and third. A run comes in, and still nobody out, right, Steve?
Correct.
All right.
If you just joined us, same starter for the Tommies in Game 2 as we saw in Game 1, getting a lot of reps early on.
Yep,
oh, she socked it.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that.
She laid the lumber on it.
Maria, she's rounding first, and that's going to clear Lauren. And they hold her to 2. So they got it in nicely.
And tell you what, and it's a 203 down the line there, and when we go to the replay here, I bet you that was 175, I bet, in the air out there. And that's all generated by your own hips, arms, and legs, because there's not a lot of velocity on the pitch, so that's self-generated. Yeah.
No, good bat speed, and you can see she hit it when the wrists were breaking, and that's how she snapped it over the left fielder's head. So congratulations to Maria. Maria is really going into the game. She was leading the team in RBIs. I believe she had 6. Is that right, John? 6 or 7 going into the game, and.
Yeah, she had 6. She was 3 for 6 in the doubleheader Tuesday against Blake. Don't know what she did in the first game. 500 with also scored a run.
Yeah, so Maria's really on a tear, and it's fun to see her, with her short stature playing at the 4 spot. She's really driving the ball.
Yeah, and what did you have her for first game, Swanee? I don't know if you got the book on Maria first game. We made a comment about if she was any relation to Danny Barr. I remember at one point, and that was negated by Mike Resnick in the home office. Said no to that.
She had 4 walks the first game.
So,
wow. Okay.
Well, the on-base percentage is good then.
That's right.
We had a little pregame interview. There's a hit right up to the pitcher, and she makes that. So a nice job by Haley Irwin as Maddie pops out to her, and this will bring up number 1, Shea, the backstop Swanson.
Now, what other sports and activities is Swanee involved with, your daughter?
She played tennis for a little bit, but
Okay.
does not do that. She's pretty much a full-time softball player.
Well,
she loves it.
And she's
Part-time
really
student?
We'll go full-time student.
Full-time
She
student,
does
good.
work hard on her studies.
good.
I'll give her credit for that.
Well, I really think that the program is really, we've talked about, you and I have talked in private about this, about the upward plane gradually that the program's headed, and a lot of that's related to the youth program and Al getting so involved more with the.
Oh,
That's going to drop.
Yeah, it's got some backspin foul ball.
Just foul.
Yeah.
But
John,
Rome wasn't built in a day.
No.
Sue Craigseth in '79 was probably the great. And seriously, she was probably the greatest softball player ever to come from the Lake Conference. And I believe I don't know if she played for the Badgers or where she played out, but and there wasn't for a lot of years an investment of time and resources that's necessary to get the girls in the off-season programs. And there's Swanee down the line.
Nice pull by Shea. She's going to round and hold. Oh, she might go.
Yeah, nice for Shea to bang out a solid single right down the line there. But I just wanted to say it's nice to see that investment. I know you posted numerous times in the off season about the clinics Al was running in the gyms for the younger kids, and and just it's not always the same when you don't have the numbers, but it's slow, good growth, and the future.
Yeah, no, the future looks bright. We're getting a sneak peek at a lot of really young kids, and granted the competition today is might not be at the same level yet, but they're playing a lot of young kids too. So it's you got to start someplace, and you got to give these kids exposure. There goes Shea down to second, and they throw down to second.
Double steal action, love it.
And then Maria scampers into score. So now we've got Shea safe at second, and I didn't catch the count on. This is Megan Perkins.
Love the way Al's talking there too on the double steal there. Once the throw, we should mention. I don't know if we have time, Paul. If you can go to the replay of that at some point. But when that throw from the catcher immediately, you can see that was going over the head of the pitcher. There was no doubt it would. There's no reason to hesitate and send that runner from third. There's not no possibility you're gonna go bang bang.
And that's hit over to Leighton, who keeps it in front of her, and
almost an easy out for Leighton behind her there.
A little peekaboo there.
Yeah, that's that aggressive Swanson makeup there. She wanted to take third on the bobble for the shortstop right to her right.
There's a lot of Saturday nights at the Swansons where you kind of have to do that around the dinner table. You got to sneak in, grab your piece of pizza, and leave because it's a feisty group at the table. Oh, there's a pitch. Nice job.
You don't take that extra base, you don't get that extra food. That's right.
I love the multicolored lace action going on here for this Oriole player, the second baseman here.
Yeah, this looks like Savannah.
Got the orange on the left foot.
And she lunges for one. All the girls are really lunging. They're having a hard time holding back on the slower pitch.
Now, do the Orioles, are they scheduled to play on Monday? We're coming
they
to
are.
you Friday.
We have a doubleheader again on Monday, and I don't recall who it is because we did have a slight change in the schedule, but we'll try and track that down before the end of the broadcast.
And I'm sure you're going to see quite a bit harder throw, pitcher, more balls put in play, etc., which is probably just as well to get back to the reality of a little more competitive outing, right?
Oh, what a catch.
A laser shot snagged by the third sacker there.
That was a beautiful play by, I believe that was Molly Hinderacker. And Hinderacker, she really was right there. Again,
look at Hinderacker. She was a midnight rocker on that play, Hinderacker.
Cat-like quickness. And I noticed she's got the dual laces going on, too. I'm not sure what the looks like yellow and blue, maybe. We tried to get it close to the school colors. And there again was that illegal 16-foot pitch. So we've got Amanda
almost hit the carpet.
Yeah. Amanda Selly, she's moved over to right field this game.
She bagged out a double last game, and it was a celebration, if I remember right.
It was her first hit. And there's
She just missed that one.
Yep. And the left fielder, ooh, a snow cone grab by the left fielder. That was a nice play again by Westerhouse. So
yeah, nice to see the smiles as the Tommies racing off the field after they stopped the bleeding right there. Nicely done.
So we had, I believe, 4 runs on 4 hits.
That's what I have.
And 1 left on. So not a bad inning for the Orioles. They did some nice work, and we'll be, 4 runs on 4 hits.
And hey, I don't know if you guys saw, we got a little momentary break here. State, I don't know if we got the state softball coaches ratings, but state baseball coaches ratings came out today in the Tribune. And last year's state large school champion for baseball, Mounds View, which has a brand new coach. Their coach who won the state title last year was let go in a very controversial move. But they are ranked #1. They've got their ace pitcher's going to Arkansas on a half ride. Had a chance to see him in the state tourney last year.
Nice.
Big lefty. And then Lakeville North ranked 2nd, Eden Prairie 3rd. But I saw, so Eden Prairie ranked 3rd. Ratings came out today. I don't know if you guys saw this. Eden Prairie lost a lot of players last year, and they graduated a large roster, even though they have more kids than almost any school in the state. They took it on the chin in baseball last night. 6-5, Egan took them out.
Egan, nice.
And
Joe
then
Don
Edina, who had 3 players go on to play college baseball off last year's team, really roughed up last night in the opener as the Irish had some moxie in their step when they came up from Rosemont and took Edina out 11-4.
Wow, everybody south of the river came up and won.
Yes, Dakota County well representing you yesterday. And as we mentioned, a lot of the same teams right there. Totino Grace, probably the favorite to win the North Suburban. I don't know. I assume Benil loaded again for girls softball with that Houlihan girl.
They were really young, and they have a young pitcher who's very good. So they had three kids that are really top-notch players. So here we go. Top of the 2nd inning here. We've got number 12. That's Westerhouse. She made that stellar catch out in left field. A little bit of a snow cone, but it was really nice. She stuck with it. And actually, Mackenzie threw a nice heater there. Kept it low and really doing a nice job. So Mackenzie had some struggles in game 2 against Blake, and just really was having a hard time hitting her spots. And
more control-wise, or were they?
Yeah, she was.
Because her velocity and technique looks solid.
Yeah, her velocity's been pretty good. She's one with Lauren that worked all winter long in the Hopkins Clinic, and
you can
really,
tell.
You got to keep the arm loose. However, she did have a volleyball injury this year where she was actually had to sit out for a while. They told her she had some overuse issues. So. There's a nice shot out to left field. There's Perkins, and
nicely done. A little 2-hand approach right on it.
Yeah, looks
sunglasses in left, and she put them to use. Nice job.
She actually caught that ball over her right shoulder, which was an interesting technique. Normally, you keep it in front, but it looks like she kind of caught it to the right of her. And this will bring up our shortstop. Nice. Number 24 is Amy Layton.
Nice coverage there on the camera work there.
When she hit her.
Little high knee action there on the left knee, and Layton, who's done yeoman's work at shortstop for this game and a half for the Tommies, just shrugs it off, little smile on her face, and she says, "I'm fine, Coach."
It looks like it hit her on the knee. She's checking the knee out, but I think she's okay. It's interesting when you watch these games that usually the hit by pitches are coming on the drop balls, the change-ups that will bounce and hit the girl in the batter box. So
good insight.
When they don't have to get out of the way. Now there's a play. And Romero can't make the play. That'll be an error.
Yeah, and that's a tough one for the second baseman, Mike. As you know, when the runner is running right in front of you on a hard hit ball, you've got the line of vision impaired by the runner as well as a hard hit ball. And she might have been thinking about the force hit too. Yep. I didn't quite see if she had pulled the head a little bit.
Yeah, I think she not only pulled the head, but she clearly lifted the glove up. So, there's a good lesson there. You always want to keep the glove down, and that way at least if the ball does bounce up, it'll hit you in the chest or hit you in the stomach. Keep it in front. And this is number 3, and that's Pao Yang, and the freshman catcher. And what I'm noticing there, John, is and Steve, she's not in a very athletic stance here. She's kind of straight up lock-kneed, and she's all arms when she swings.
Right.
Now she's in a better stance, but it seems like when she swings, she stands up.
Now, Steve, I was just going to ask you, the fact that your daughter, as well as Evenson, are both sophomores, and they probably have been a battery for tons over the years, haven't they?
They have.
So I notice your daughter, in terms of how she gives signals to her, she's does the inside tap sometimes for her location. Nice liner.
Right back.
Oh.
So Mackenzie keeps it down, but they're going to get a run. Oh, wow, and another tough slide. And Leighton.
A little banged up for wear as she works her way around the bases.
Yeah, she worked for that run.
Yeah. So there's another lesson, John.
On the line, yeah, talk about that, what you saw. Exactly. The line drive back to the pitcher.
It was a nice play. Mackenzie, did all she could to keep it in her glove, but it just came back so quick. She had the wherewithal to at least get the out, which was good. But what I was going to point out is on the steal at home, when you have 99 to 100% of the kids are batting right-handed, by the time the second game is there, you get a big hole in that right-handed batter's box. And, you can't slide through that hole. So typically what they'll try and teach you is to kind of slide to the side and sometimes use your hand to touch the plate instead of trying to go in, here, just to avoid that.
An ankle or,
yeah.
Hey, that is a really good insight. You don't often get
there's some side spin there. Mackenzie picks it up and goes over to Lauren Myra for the third out. So one run on no hits.
No hit batter.
Hey, Paulie, I don't know if you have the video still. We might be out of play, but on the play you were referencing, Mike, do we have the video of that on the replay, Paul, still in the
There was two plays back when they hit
the line shot right back to the pitcher where the young ladies came running and scored and almost got hurt at home. Do you still have that up? If you don't, that's okay. But I was going to say, the thing we didn't talk about on that play before the slide was line drive back right to her as a pitcher. I think she's going to make the play. She got the out at first, but the runner was 15 to 20 feet off of the base at that time. Now, if she would have just done the little glance after the look to first, if she would have looked to first and then did the quick glance back to third, she would have literally had her in a hot box.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, you always
those are the little things too.
At least look them back, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She would have frozen.
That's a great call, John. This is why John gets paid the big bucks. He is just he knows his stuff.
But it's fun to talk about that because whether it be softball or baseball, there's so many similarities in terms of plays, defense, etc., and things that you can talk about. And that's what I really like about Al as a coach too, is that coming over from the baseball side where he had a lot more numbers, he had a lot more tradition, etc.
Yep.
I think it's taken him probably a few years to get the confidence level to. He doesn't want to lose any of the girls or have them back away from softball, but he also needs some of these girls. He needs more leadership out of the older ones and reach into the younger ones and saying, "Hey, what are you doing for summer? What are you doing for off?" And
I think you're right. I think he does bring a nice mix of sternness and yet knowing what he's dealing with. Sometimes you can't talk to the girls the same way you talk to the boys. And
right.
So, definitely, he's got a lot because of the level of skill level that he's dealing with. You have to be much more encouraging and much more genteel about how you're handling the players. So this brings up Mackenzie Evenson. We're back to the top of the order, and we are at the bottom of the second. And Mackenzie looks at ball.
Yeah, Mackenzie, as you mentioned, pitching, leading off, getting her second at bat of the first game. I think, Swanee, you said she had 4 walks in the first game, and then...
that was Maria.
Oh, Maria, that's right. Yeah, what did Swanee do?
Mackenzie had a couple hits.
A couple hits in the first game.
4.
I think she scored it once or twice. Oh, that's a straight up to the pitcher. And that's Irwin. Nice play by Irwin. Well done. 2 hands again. So we are seeing some decent fundamentals early in the season. A lot of two-handed grabs. A lot of anticipation there. That was good. And now she's got a big smile on her face. And this will bring up number 8. That's senior captain Lauren Myra. Lauren's playing first again in game 2. And she's got her famous bat twirl out.
I know, if I'm scouting the Orioles and if I'm watching this game at home and I'm scouting Lauren, I'm saying I want that girl quick pitched.
Yeah.
I'm not accepting that.
That's right. Just bring it in, and then you bring it in on the hands too, so they can't get around on it. She waits on that one. That's going to be up the middle, and it got through a
hit off the back of
the hop there.
Did that hit off the back of the second base there?
I couldn't tell it. It had a wonderful side spin though. So Lauren finds herself safely at first, and now one of the other tri-captains, number 9, third baseman Lauren Resnick's coming up. She's a junior. Oh, there's the play right there. Yeah. Oh, it did. I think it did hit the on the replay. It looked like it hit the bag.
Good patience there.
Ooh,
Lauren just
she
got a big
wanted that
smile
one.
on her
There's a
face.
smile.
Oh, Coach W, let me take a rip.
That's right. And he's given some instruction down to Lauren Myra. I wonder if they had some sort of a play on there. Oh, Lauren waited on that one, and again,
Yeah,
she's
she
so.
could have waited even
yeah,
another half a second too.
They
right?
they just can't seem to hold back. They want to just go at it, and unfortunately, they're all just lunging. And when you lunge, you know, you're not getting. It's all arms at that point, right?
Yeah, and I was gonna say, come Monday, where this is Friday, April 11th, you're watching, and then the Orioles are playing again on Monday, the 14th. They'll have a quicker pitcher, I'm sure then.
Well, she hits that back to the pitcher who bobbles it. Oh, she's off her heels again. Oh, then a nice play.
Yeah, nicely done at first there on the stretch and the scoop as that throw was in the line there. So she had to stretch into the line, Mike, as you noticed as well.
Yep, she definitely came over. You're right. That was, but I like Irwin the way she stayed with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to the replay again on that.
Oh, yeah, here's the replay. You can see how
Beautiful
she bobbled
angle
it,
here.
stayed with it. And
Yeah.
she really didn't bend at the knee. She bent at the waist, and she threw it up the line. You're right. That was
Yeah,
a good play, and also by the first baseman to stay on the bag.
yeah, she kept.
First baseman again. That's Oshana Reich.
Ooh,
Uh-oh. And they got the play.
Oh. and
They had the play, and Lauren Myra with the late slide again.
I think Lauren got a really late break, even though she's got to wait till that ball gets past home plate. I don't know, time-wise, to me it looked like she almost delayed even another. And the Orioles have been using delayed steals,
Yep.
but I don't know if that was one of those cases where she just didn't read where the
Yeah,
ball
no, I
was.
think that was you're right. It was a late jump. Yeah, and there's Maria Barr, and Oshana makes the play there.
Yeah, nicely done there. She
And
backed
that should be 3 outs, right?
Yeah.
So no runs on one hit.
One hit off of second
and,
base.
one left on. So really, you know, I think that we've seen a real challenge here with the Oriole hitters. They're just they've got to figure out a way. You know, at this point, they've seen this girl now for the second straight game.
Right.
She's not throwing a fastball. She's not throwing a changeup. It's just one straight pitch. And you would think that they'd be able to mentally get themselves prepared to, you know where it's going and go from that. So hopefully they can make some adjustments and keep it going. As we've already seen, Maria Barr had a bomb down the left field line, and we had Shea hit one up the left field line just inside the third base bag. We've had several girls that have had some good hits, and Amanda Selly, of course, had a shot.
What a great, not just jumping away. I don't know if we're going to go back to that camera shot that we had up, but take a look, enjoying the 60-degree weather outside here at Aquila. Who needs to walk the extra 50 feet to watch the game when you can just pop the
hammock.
Pop the hammock
There
in the
it is.
backyard right here, beautifully done. Maybe that's why those houses on Aquila Avenue are go for so much. It isn't that they're 10 years old and have 4,000 square feet.
No.
It's that you get
You get the view.
So nicely done, young man over there, perched from your. And of course, no cost ever to attend the softball or baseball game. So if you're sitting at home saying, "Wow, I haven't been to an Orioles softball game, but how much are season tickets?" Guess what? No season tickets and no admission fee. Not unlike basketball or football or a lot of the sports, right?
Well, Mackenzie Evenson just threw a rocket there. That was probably her best pitch of the season I've seen. She really just reared back and let it hum. So 0-1, and this is number 2, and number 2 is Nai Seichow.
She was on the team. I remember that name last year, Seichow.
You're right. You and I had a discussion as how to pronounce that name last year, and I think it took us probably 3 or 4 innings to come to an agreement that we just agreed to disagree.
Well, I actually, and I've got a very unusual last name, Fromm, but it's F-R-O-O-M. I just happen to remember that I was really hungry last year, and then putting that name together fueled my hunger pains.
All right. So
Ba-dum-tsh.
one out now, and
As Seichow reaches.
Oh, was that a ball 4? No, I think she struck out. I think she struck
my
out.
bad.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm thinking about food again.
Yeah,
That's
so,
not helping.
And I looked away to check the stat sheets from Seichow from last year, so I apologize. So here's number 5, top of the order. That's Danielle Martinez. And Martinez playing center field today. She's a senior. interesting story about Martinez is that she's the team spelling bee champion this year, so I know she's happy about that.
Was she eligible to go to DC for the national spell-offs on
No, I
ESPN
don't.
too,
I
or?
think she missed the sectionals due to a family commitment, so otherwise she would have been happy to be there.
Well, that is a big thing. I remember that spelling bee movie, and really, that's to be commended, her achievements in the field of academia.
Yeah, you just can't blame her for, trying to really extend her vocabulary through the spelling bee. I like that. And then again, she's showing what kind of a
Nice
player
heater.
she's out here. Oh, that
was a
yeah.
nice heater on the inner half there, good extension. Yeah, you can really see she's really worked out a lot. I mean, I think I only saw her throw once last year, so it's hard for me to evaluate.
Yeah, no, she's definitely, you can tell her arm is loose. She's got good, there's one. That's going to be in the cheap seats.
Oh, is that a Barry Resnick possible
I don't
souvenir?
know, but that could be a Abra auto body moment right there. We'll take a look, and hopefully everybody's safe over there. So a nice at bat here for Martinez. She's really working the pitch count. And a rope. Oh, nice play by Maddie, and she comes over to Lauren. So
talk about poise for the 7th grader there, and nicely done, nicely executed, nice line drive hit.
Yep.
I think the Tommies, I'm just a statement. They're playing a lot more fundamentally sound than we saw last year.
Yep. No, they really
field at the plate, etc. Balls put in play.
Yep. Coach Calhoun has done a nice job, and I do like the new uniforms. They's got not only are they looking good, but they're playing well.
Well, and we didn't put our top 10 list of the most famous Edison alumni together, but we've already talked about Thomas Alva Edison and his 1,037 inventions that are patented.
And there will be a test later to make sure everybody knows them. And for those of you that are taking the ACT this weekend, we want to wish you all good luck tomorrow.
Oh, is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow's a big ACT for a lot of the girls, and then I know there's a big basketball tournament up in St. Cloud that many of the kids are going to be participating in. And there's strike 2. So this is number 16. This is Haley Irwin. She's the pitcher. She's been the pitcher for both games, and she's been batting in the 2nd spot both games as well. She's probably one of the returners with the most experience. Oh, and then she swings right
another
through.
strikeout.
So nice job by Mackenzie. And again, no runs on no hits and no one left on. And Mackenzie got 2 strikeouts that inning. So it seems like she's found a groove, and she's been able to really get into some PT, which is great. This will be good for Mackenzie after coming a little bit of a struggle against Blake the other night.
Hey, Todd. Nice to see you. One of the VIPs from St. Louis Park basketball poking his head over. Father of the Year, well, runner-up to Mike Resnick for girls softball. Todd Ederer stopping in. Yeah, good to see you, Todd. How are things going in the Ederer household? I know it's been a rough week. We've talked about that, and you doing pretty good though?
Oh yeah, it's the whole park community. It's been a tough week again.
Yeah. Well, I didn't, yeah.
I'm hoping that there's still miracles out there.
Well, and I'm sure we'll find out over the weekend what the plans are for next week. Obviously, all the activities were canceled after school yesterday, and then so many of the seniors and juniors that knew Evan painted the wall, and that young man over there did a really nice job representing the community, talking about the incident, and yeah, it was
well done, and
yeah, that made us feel good, I think, too, and yeah.
hoping for the best until we know exactly what happened.
Well, we're trying to add to the humor is sometimes the best medicine, and this has been, I think, really good for Mike and I and probably everybody to just have an activity to go to and be outside with all the winters too. Yeah.
Well, a big plus that we even you can cross at a baseball field with no snow on.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. And does anyone know? I know the JV and the sophomore or freshman team scrimmage today, which was an officiated scrimmage. They got some nice work in over there. Really a double benefit day here on Friday the 11th for Oriole softball.
Yep, no, really good stuff. And like you said, hopefully the stuff that's supposed to come next week won't be as bad as they're predicting. We can just keep this wave of good weather rolling. That's 40 degrees could get rough again.
Yeah, well, at least Park took advantage of it this week and was able to get out. I know.
There's a drop ball.
There's a 7th. No.
So this is Maddie McIntyre. Again, Maddie, both games starting at short today. And I know we've talked about it ad nausea about the fact she's a 7th grader, but really a great opportunity for her to get out there. And she's shown on a couple occasions where she was able to field the ball nicely and make the throw. There she pulls one down the line. And off the third baseman's foot. That's going to scatter. She could go to 2. Oh, she had to hide behind the official.
Yeah.
And there you go, John. No one hit the cutoff, and how crucial that was to throw. You can't throw behind the runner, right?
Two things there. Good
Go ahead.
point. And I was going to say this: the ball immediately you could see was going to go down the line. Coach Stephanie immediately pointed to second here. One thing I'd like to see, and I'm sure they'll address that later, is no angle in terms of taking the automatic double. She ran to first, and basically stopped 2 feet towards second and then went. So little things, but you're in seventh grade. Yeah.
What would you call that? Round and hold type thing, where you always want to round.
She didn't take the angle that they'll want her to in terms of on an automatic double play, but they'll deal with that. And 7th grade, for heaven's sakes, nice contact.
And this is Shea. Shea went down low, and now she takes off. There we go. So
yeah, love to see that base running, though. She powered off her lead when the ball crossed home plate and got to third easily.
Yeah, much more aggressive on that play. And
she's got good wheels. You can tell she's 13, roughly, as a 7th grader, I'm assuming.
Probably 13, 14.
Yeah, but girls mature earlier. I know my wife always reminds me of that.
I still haven't matured.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I say my wife will be 50 on May 4th, and she was a cradle robber. I'm only 48, so
that's true.
It's a
You
double
were always
whammy
young for your age.
Yeah, I was.
I was
moved ahead several years.
I think about what a great athlete you were, and if you would have stayed back a year, you probably would have set a lot of state records.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I hit a sour note.
Yeah, let's go to commercial.
All right, so Shea Swanson, our backstop, she goes down and
right
gets
down
one.
the line
she
as
pulls
well.
it again. So 2 in a row for Shea. Let's see if she rounds. There she goes, and left field goes right to the pitcher. So I see a lot of them skipping over the cutoff. Yep. It was a little better round that time by our base runner and thinking about the opportunity to go. But she actually
same
did it,
spot
right?
for Shea. Yeah, she did it. Took a little more angle, and then they're really giving a workout to that left field line, as I expected them to do. Right. The birds are really chirping. Are those Orioles that have flown in from the south? We got a lot of birds. Can you hear that? I just heard like 3 or 4 birds chirping.
Well, it tis the season.
Sorry.
That's all right. So this is 8th grader Megan Perkins. They call her MP. That's going to get in. Oh, nice catch. They could double her up. And they did. A double play.
That is the toughest play for any base runner right there, because you're taught to go halfway. In that case, it looked, you're right, I thought it was going to go over her head. She was backpedaling. And so she was right to be a third of the way, I think. There you see, you were right there. Take a look.
Yep, there you go. And kept the ball in front of her and had the wherewithal to go to first.
And if you're watching at home, if you're a fast pitch player or little league player, those pop-ups that you think are going to fall behind the second baseman when you're leading off a first, where normally you're thinking halfway or even a third, that was a play where she probably needed to be 8 feet. But how do you read that? That's so difficult.
Yeah. Well, and the ball, it looked like it was going to go further than it did, and with all that backspin, it held up. There virtually is no wind right now, so it wasn't the wind. I think it was just the fact that she just got such a English on the ball kind of held it back. With the channels in the laces, it can grab.
Well, nice to get it. Again, it's, what do we got? 6:30, 6:45 here. But they're going to get the double header in here. 10-12 innings today after 10-12 innings on Wednesday, and I'm interested to see as the Orioles make a step up in quality of opposition. The defense has been looking good, and there's a lot of good things we've seen for strokes. And I think when you get batting against some normal speed pitching, it'll help a lot too.
Yeah, it's they have to be ready for any type of pitching. So it's hard. We can't use that as an excuse the whole time. But there's a walk for Savannah.
You kind of wonder too if you're Edison here. You'd think with what a good athlete the shortstop is. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't. I'd like to see what she could bring to the mound, even though you're never going to take her out of there. But
and I think you're right.
For an injury, you'd like to see a second pitcher probably.
You're right. It's going to be a long season for her if she's the only pitcher. Oh, and a good play by Savannah. She's safe. That was a nice slide by Savannah.
And that's so much pressure early on in the year to pitch both ends of the doubleheader. And you talked about pitch count being really not important so much in fast pitch in terms of a lower stress load on your throwing underhand. But yeah, I'm sure.
Amanda takes a big cut.
How did Edison do in the city last year? Did they and Henry kind of struggle a little bit?
Yeah, I don't remember how they exactly finished, but I know that it was they were on the lower end of their conference.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say.
And they've lost a couple. They lost their pitcher, Studevan, who she was there for
Yeah.
3 years or 4 years, and she did the majority of the pitching. She pitched last year both ends of the doubleheader, and the year before I believe she did as well. And that that was the year we were in stocking caps and sweatshirts and jackets and gloves. I think the long under. Oh, there's a big shot by Amanda. No, it's high though, and a good
Nice
catch.
catch. Yeah, good fundamental work again by the
Yeah.
Tommies. And Amanda got a lot behind that one, even though she pop-flied it. It's
Yep.
all self-generated power with the hips, legs, and the torque of the swing.
Yeah, so Martinez made a nice catch. I would have liked to see her use the two hands, but you know what? She made the catch, and that's what counts. So after, what are we at here? Four, or the middle of 4. So after 3.5 complete, Orioles 5 and the Tommies 1.
Yeah, and just a reminder here, this is game 2 of the doubleheader. Orioles with the 10-run win in game 1. If you do want to get a copy of this game or any of the upcoming games, there's going to be a lot of baseball on display, girls and boys lacrosse, and rumor has it an ultimate frisbee match will be watching. There's a squirrel who's going to have a vested interest in watching this. Good camera work out there. Look at that. I didn't realize it was fall already. I thought we were in spring. We got leaves everywhere, squirrels hiding nuts.
So Paul, we have a second camera person tonight with Misty. Who's our second camera person? That's
Yeah,
Ben. Okay, sure.
Yeah, Ben and Misty fighting for the best shot of the day. They're both looking there. I think they love this Aquila vantage point because you've got kids playing hoops down here. You got wildlife, kids, taking a nap in the backyard.
It's quite the area of activity. It's always fun to come down to Aquila. They've done a nice job over the years, and I think John and I talked last year about some of the improvements that they made to this field. They've kind of added some tarps here to mock out some dugouts, so they actually have a real dugout feel to them that'll protect them from the sun and rain. And they extended the fences all the way around. I believe the fences are now 12 feet. At one point they were 7 or 8. So now they're
Tommy
much
Wright
higher.
can't steal any more home runs here from us. And
He's not jumping over this fence, that's for sure.
But you're right. And then they got, all the little things with the school supported, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but a few years ago when they invested some money into the dugouts as well as, the practice areas and the bullpen areas too, really, and you got 4 fields here, so there's no reason everybody can't have their own field to pitch, practice, and play.
No, they did a nice job, and they worked with the city and the boosters, and they put together that nice batting cage over down the left field line, which was so sorely needed. And really, when there was a grant that was given out through the Twins organization to improve all the Little League fields down at Rotary Park, I know there were some parents that kind of fought to get something because really the girls didn't have anything, and so it was nice.
Right.
They actually put the scoreboard in here. Unfortunately, they're not using it tonight, but it is here, and it is available if we can find somebody who's willing to do it and not be ridiculed by the rest of the fans.
Barry Resnick, hint.
And Barry could do it. She's done
I
it
know.
before.
She knows how to count. She's a nurse. She has to administer drugs all day long. Excuse me, medications.
That's right.
But you're right though. I mean, and that 5 years ago, none of that was here. I mean,
No. I mean, it was fun with the old fence because the ivy had grown in. It had that Wrigley feel. However,
nice job. Nice heater there, and take a walk back to the dugout. Do the left-right march.
There she goes.
Another strikeout for Evenson. How many we got there?
Bench.
How
One
many
down.
is that?
Oh, how many Ks?
Yeah, how many we got so far?
Yeah.
Second game or for her, even 5 or
I think we have 4.
4?
Yeah,
Okay.
4
That's her
Ks.
fourth, and
There it is.
Oh,
and
lane
a
shot.
block. And that's going to get all the way. So Perkins tracks it down. She brings it in, and there's McIntyre gets in, and they hold her to 2. So actually a good long throw for Megan there. Maddie did not get out. I would have liked to seen her get out further to break, for a shorter cutoff there, but I don't think it would have held her, or it would have held her to 1. She still would have gotten 2. Maddie standing, you can see her there, and now she's going out.
That was the hardest hit line drive of the day, I would say, for either team. A line shot, and nice to hold her to 2, and nice, beautiful hit.
And
here's a girl who will get a good cut in here, too, for the Tommies.
Yeah, and you saw Mackenzie looks like she got a little frustrated there. She threw that pretty aggressively, that comeback pitch, and sometimes when you go to throw a hard one, it'll sail high on you. Oh, and there's one down the line. Resnick keeps it in front of her, and there won't be a play.
That's okay. That would have been a tough chance anyway, as she had to go to the backhand, and most importantly, she saved her run because it didn't go by her. So first and third defense here, and that's something we don't really talk about in broadcast, but you got less than 2 outs on a first and third. Usually a play signaled in baseball. We'll see if Coach Al wants to throw through on a steal attempt here. I'm not sure what the Tommies are doing. We got a close game, so
Yeah,
it'll be
you're
interesting
right.
what they do. You know,
Yep. Let's see. Is he making a
And he's
switch?
talking to,
Yeah.
I like the way this game is being competed on both ends too.
He went,
you know.
he went over to retrieve the bat, I think is what he was doing. So Coach
Yeah.
Calhoun is wearing a lot of hats today. He's base coaching, he's coaching the bench.
He's a guy who loves coaching. You can tell he's running back and forth. He's putting up with our shenanigans and funny comments.
And now he's the bat boy by chasing it
Right.
down.
Nice
Oh,
stop
Shea
there.
goes
Oh,
to
throw
snap
behind.
Oh, nice. I like that.
That was nice to
Yeah,
see.
and it looked like Perkins was moving too to back her up, so that was good. All good movement all the way around. On every ball, John, I think that the kids need to be moving in some manner. Would you
Right.
agree?
And I think that was a designed throwback play Al called.
Uh-oh,
There's a throw through.
That one sailed on her a little bit,
Yep.
and I'm not exactly sure why we threw to second there. Can you explain that strategy?
Well, again, we talked about, as you know, first and third defenses, less than 2 outs, close game. The interesting thing there is it probably was the right read, because if the young lady on third did not even move until the ball was in center field right about here.
Right.
But so if, and just one of those things where smart coaching on the Edison side as well. Your catcher throws to third, the pitch before,
Right.
immediately send her again, another girl, so you get her throwing hard 2 plays in a row, popping out of the crowd.
It's a good call.
I don't.
Yeah. No, that's good. So this is number 13, and number 13 is Isabella Loisel. Loisel is the right fielder, and she's a junior. And she just kind of chopped at that last one,
Yeah.
John. She just kind of came over the top. I don't think she had the swing that she wanted to.
Yeah. Ooh,
Is it
almost
play out of
rolled fair.
bounds?
You know, a real straight upright, stance, but she looks like she's an athletic girl. If they can I'm sure coach will work with her on her stance, getting her weight transferred from back foot to front foot a little bit better.
Yeah,
She could widen out her base a little
Yeah,
bit.
you're
here,
right.
too.
And she's bent at the waist, not at the knees. I think that's also kind of a challenge for her. Oh, and they got her strike 3.
Yeah, and did you say Edison's about 500 kids in the school now?
Yeah,
for
448
9 through
according to the
12?
website,
Okay.
Minnesota State High School League, 448 versus St. Louis Park, which is about 1,200. And,
Right.
at St. Louis Park, the enrollment every year for the past couple of years has gone up by, 15, 20 kids. I know they had to put a hold on some of the open enrollment because they were outgrowing some of the schools. It's so funny because, with Cedar Manor being sold off to the is it a French school, I think, now? Is it a
the French immersion or something, yeah.
And now all of a sudden, they got rid of the school, and now we're in a need of space again. So, it's always something.
Well, and that's why we so appreciate, the work you've done in terms of arranging for all those mobile homes to be dropped down at Aquila in the backyard.
Well,
And
we had
those freebies are really going to help the school district. What's going on with the plane here?
Yeah, I don't know. We've got a seaplane that just came overhead here, and I didn't
That's
see
going
it.
to Crystal, though.
Yeah,
I bet you that's going
it
to
is.
Crystal Airport, but he can be higher. Crystal's still 10 miles north.
Yeah,
So it's a little late for the pregame flyout.
I think you're
Don't
right.
you agree?
There
That's
was
got to be Crystal. Where else would you be going?
There was a flag behind that plane. I don't know if we got a clip of it, but it was half off at Mr. Steak over on 394. So nice coupon. I always enjoyed the number 4 over at Mr. Steak. It was delicious.
Love the steak and shrimp when you got the salad on the side. Oh,
I'm hungry.
So, and then,
foul ball there.
ball, yeah.
Nice aggressive running, though.
And this is
Yeah.
a new batter now. This is number 8, Tracy Schaefer.
Yep.
Tracy's another freshman, so a lot of youngsters here. And Tracy is the needlepoint expert on the team. I know she likes a lot of arts and crafts, and so she
that's
enjoys
right.
that.
I've heard about her rhinestone work.
Oh, and she goes down low, and that'll be strike 3. And
That'll stop the bleeding right there.
Yep,
But
that'll
we got
slow
a
it down a
whale
little
of a
bit.
game. If you just joined us, this is game 2 of the doubleheader tonight, and I believe is it 5-2? Is
Yep.
that the correct score?
We have 5-2.
5-2, and
Bottom 4.
5-7-0. Your line score for the Orioles, I believe 2-2-1 is what Swanson Enterprises has come up with as the official score. Again, go to the gopark.org website, Paul, if you can put that graphic up at some point. Gopark.org, as there's been a lot of changes in the spring schedules.
Yep, everybody's kind of
And-
getting back to where they were, and I think it's just the first week or two is what really needs to, to be made some adjustments, and I think they've done a nice job. And I know that anybody who plays spring sports in Minnesota knows you just have to be flexible with this weather and make it, make it work. So it's fun. They're able to get in. With these double headers, you can make up games quickly.
I tell you, I'm very envious, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but the baseball program is very envious of this week and the softball team. And of course, with Dakota, the problem has always been right field, right center. The field drains so poorly. And finally, the city, and I wanted to announce this, we were informed about a month ago the city officially approved a $300,000 grant, so they're finally going to redo right and right center field down there.
Nice.
And there's going to be some new batting stations that are put in. And that's going to really help because the baseball team has still not had an outdoor practice or a game.
Okay.
And they won't tomorrow either, so they're going to play Hopkins on Monday without even having an outdoor practice again.
Oh, jeez.
And it's so yeah, a lot. And for Al to be able to get in the 4 games as well. Normally you would have had a practice yesterday if things weren't canceled. So nice that this Aquila complex seems to dry out so much faster, or is maybe they take a little more care of it too.
I think it's graded really well. I think the pitch is nice. It's you don't have as many issues. This particular field doesn't have the big drainage. I know field number 1 has that huge manhole cover out in center field, and it's always a challenge when you're playing center field there as you come up on the ball. So top of the order now. We're at the bottom of 4, and this is the pitcher Mackenzie Evans, and she wanted it. You could see her she was coiling to just let loose.
She was like a rattlesnake that wanted to explode on a prey from above.
King Cobra. Oh, and there's a slow, and she goes down and grabs it. Oh, a nice play. A new third baseman. Wow. That was number 5 is Martinez, the
That's
senior.
A quick release there.
Boy, they've obviously
the replay.
That is a fantastic defensive.
Watch how quick
there.
she got it out of her glove.
Man, look at that. That was lightning quick.
And a nice scoop by number 10, Reich.
I tell you, these Edison girls have obviously worked a ton in the gym and off season, and I'm really interested. Where you said Coach Calhoun's in his first year here?
No. He's been with us for the last couple of years.
He's
but
obviously
on the
really
website. Yeah, it had changed on the website where it showed that was a.
But he's gone into the bag of
Sika.
tricks and somehow got the commitment level up for. I mean, I really believe that from what we've seen the last few years. Yeah.
Well, she's the senior, and so, there's a beautiful play by Layton. Oh, and she comes off the bag, and then she got her on the tag.
That is worthy of a.
What a play!
That is worthy of a highlight memory. If we have that in slow motion, the Edison fans would be thrilled with this play.
Oh, Shauna made a beautiful play. She gets pulled off the bag, and watch this play, snow cone, and then
Look at that. That is big time.
Oh, the wherewithal to tag her out. So 2 quick outs now, and for the Tommies, and this will bring up Lauren Resnick.
And you just as a fan, even though we're Park fans, you've just got to appreciate the quality of the defensive plays on the fielding, the throws, and those smiles those girls have out there too for, supporting their pitcher with a quick inning, hopefully. And that's why Lauren, nice to see her take a pitch here.
And Resnick rips one up the middle, and
nice
Ray
line
had some
shot.
problems. Lauren rounds and holds.
Third hard hit ball of the inning, and finally the Orioles get a runner to show for it. But that's what's going to happen in North sub games too. You're going to have good defensive teams with Totino and Benilde, and
Yep. And there you can see Ray having some problems out there. And again, I noticed she picked the ball up with her glove on the dead ball. One of my pet peeves is you got to pick that up with your bare hand.
Yeah.
It just takes too long. Well, Resnick's going to go on a delay there.
Good to see that. That ball skipped away, and Lauren's an important run. You still got a 3-run lead here. Anybody's ball game? Absolutely.
So 2 outs. Lauren Resnick at second, and we've got Maria, the crime dog Barr. She's been just roping the ball today, and she's leading the team in RBIs. And she swings hard there. She swings through it. Resnick's going to find herself over at third.
Heads up ball there by Lauren.
Yep.
She even with 2 down, she can score on a wild pitch here, so she's accelerated on 2 misplays. So we'll see if Barr can just a level swing here. And you might not want to hit it on the left side of the infield, maybe in the middle or over there.
Yeah, we just haven't seen anybody hit it down the right side. That was a foul ball.
Yeah.
Good hustle by number 8, the new catcher, and that's, I want to make sure I give you the right name. That's Tracy Schaefer.
She's a very tall young lady for a catcher, too, at that size and age. And again, as you mentioned earlier, just using a regular fielder's glove.
That's too high.
Which is fine, So beautiful Friday night here at Aquila Park, game 2 of this. Now it's a Twine night doubleheader. It wasn't earlier, but
I wonder if we'll have any not-hole games. Oh, there's a hard hit on the ground, but Leighton with the scoop. Let's see if she makes the throw again up the line, and this time she's safe.
Yep.
And Resnick will score. So 2 outs, and Maria gets on an error.
Yep.
And Resnick scores, and this will bring up number 6, the shortstop, Maddie McIntyre.
And you know what? Almost 3 really good defensive plays. No follow through on that play, sadly. But it almost, Lauren, luckily, smartly got to third base because she would not have scored if she was only at second.
Right.
If that was the
it's a
key,
good
she
call.
moved up 2 bases on her signal. So, and here's the 7th grader. Should we call it the 7th grade splash?
I think Eminem.
The
I like
splasher?
Eminem.
Oh, Eminem, that's right. Now, the last name is McKinsey? Is
McIntyre, I believe.
McIntyre.
Yep. Maddie.
Maddie
Madison.
McIntyre. Madison. Oscar Madison?
Dolly Madison, I like. Those are delicious
James.
treats. Oh, there's a nice
there's
hit,
a laser to
and
left.
there we go. A nice hit by Maddie. And that'll put runners on first and second. Orioles have a 2-out rally here going with the last 3 hitters all, or last 3 batters all finding bases.
And they're finally waiting long enough and having more level cuts.
Yep, I think you're
They're
right.
not trying to dial it up and hit it 203 and.
I hope that their timing isn't going to be so off for when they come back Monday and they start
who do we
seeing.
play on Monday? Do you know? I guess I should look. Let me get on that.
There's a hit to left center field. This
Over
one
the
could
head,
be
that's
trouble.
gonna split up.
There's a nice shot. Swanson pulls out
Swanee
the,
with a 2-bagger, knocking in a
And
pair.
here comes Maddie.
Yeah,
There's going to be a
it's
play
gonna
at the plate. No play there.
And
Look,
Swanee
Swanson
kept
over to
running to
third.
third. I love it.
Wow,
Love to see
look
it.
at that. A beautiful play.
And then you know what? The contact all there that inning and a 2-run 2-bagger by the sophomore Swanson, who obviously is looking forward to dinner tonight. And we know Dad's buying.
That is probably the deepest ball I think I've ever seen her hit. I mean,
She leaned into that one.
She's
Yeah.
hit the ball extremely hard all game, but she's been pulling it down the line. That time she extended the
she's
solar.
gonna score on
here
this
we go.
too.
Let's see if she does it. There's going to be a play. Good slide.
There she
saved.
goes. She got there.
Wow.
Self-generated run on the 2-bagger, getting to third really on the misplay, which was an aggressive read, and then scoring.
So we gave up 1 the inning before, and we quickly came back with 4 more this inning, which is
all with 2 out and
yeah.
nobody on, too.
correct.
And Lauren started with the liner, and it comes down to defense, guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, well,
I mean,
and how about the fact that you never give up, right?
Oh, there's
a
another
hard
one
hit
up the
ball
gut.
by Perkins. She's going to try and beat it. Oh, good hustle.
Wow. Man, she's
nice
got
wheels.
some jets.
Nice wheels up the line.
Does Perkins do? She
She's a
obviously
runner.
can't run track, but
Yeah,
she's cross
she's a runner,
country.
cross-country runner, and
Good hustle, young lady.
I think she lettered as a 7th grader in cross country, so good for her. But more impressively for me on that was how hard she hit that ball. That was probably the hardest. She got a hit against Blake, but none of the balls were hit as hard as that one. That was just right on. Unfortunately, that's what they call the atom bomb. Where she hit it right at him.
Well, and you and I have talked about this in the past. The 10 years or so that I spent coaching majors and different levels of traveling baseball, long before we hooked up and stuff. But baseball is a game of repetition and relaxation, and those are words you don't normally hear together. But R&R in the sense that you don't relax as an athlete, or especially in baseball, unless your confidence is up. Your confidence is not going to get up unless you're relaxed and you're having fun, and the repetitions of the 4 games in 48 hours here.
Yep.
I mean, seriously, we can sit here and say, oh, well, maybe they're adjusting the pitcher, and that's all true.
Right.
But even if they were seeing a girl throwing a little harder, they're getting their swing planes better. It's one thing to hit in the cage, and you can't tell where the ball goes.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Well, not only that, but when you hit in the cage, if you're hitting off the machine, the ball is always flat. It's always a level pitch, and that's why you can see a lot of these girls can hit 60-mile-an-hour pitches off the machine. That's not hard, but when you get into the game and there's the wind and you see change-ups and you see breaking balls, it's a whole nother game, and that's why. And I would say this, John, to you as well, and Steve, is that for these girls that go and pitch at the pitching clinics, some of them look great when there isn't a batter. But then all of a sudden, when you're pitching off the rubber and there's a batter and there's that big hole that's about 8 inches in front of the, down deep in front of the, you're tripping over that thing. There's just a lot of factors that go into it. So now we're starting top of the 5th, I believe, and this is Ray number 21, playing center field in game number 2 here. And she had made, I don't know if you recall, in the 2nd inning, made that beautiful catch out in left center field.
Yes.
Almost colliding with the left fielder, right?
It was Clemente-esque, wearing number 21.
And she comes underneath it. Resnick, 2 hands, and she makes the grab.
Nice to see there, because I really worried that if she was going to not try to saddlebag that and pull at a body, she might have dropped that. It was a tough one.
Yeah, those are always, sometimes when you have so much time to think, you can kind of think yourself out of those plays. So one out, and this brings up number 19. This is Jamie Barker. Jamie swings at first pitch. Jamie
Come on down, Jamie Barker.
Jamie Barker.
You're the next contestant on Edison tonight.
Edison. She's playing right field today. Oh, and
there's a
there
cut
you
for
go,
the
good
Barkster.
swing. And Barker today is, as I mentioned, she's a freshman, so
She's a frosh.
getting exposure to the varsity at the 9th grade level again is invaluable experience. Let's see. It looks like
Absolutely.
I can't see from here, John. It looks like your hands are kind of apart. They don't look like your hands are together.
She got the Eucalyptus type approach,
yeah,
where he spreads them
yeah.
and pulls them together.
Oh,
You don't
man,
often see.
I never saw them come together. But so strike 3, and Evenson will get the recorded strikeout. I think Mackenzie's got to have close to 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me count them.
Somewhere in
I
there.
tell you, and I don't know how she threw Wednesday, but pretty impressive in
Yeah,
terms
no,
of the
night
strikes.
and day different. Night and day different. She really struggled
Yeah.
to find the plate, and tonight she's just spot on with her control, and she's actually she's got a little zip on the ball too. I don't know that she had the same kind of velocity on against Blake. There's a hit up the. That's up
right
the
off
line.
the
It's a
bag.
fair ball.
Right off the bag. She's going to. Let's see what play. Back up from right field here.
Yeah, and
Nice 2-bagger that time, and that really did hit the base again. That was right on the line.
yeah, they and again that was I believe that was Danielle Martinez, right?
Well, and the beauty of this game for Edison, you guys, just talking about it, your daughter throws harder than Mackenzie. But Lauren throwing the first game, just from a pitching point of view, and then you got a 5-6 mile an hour drop in pitching speed, so the balls are seeming a lot slower, even though they're not necessarily slow.
Right.
But this
Slower
help
can-
games
yeah,
helps
relative.
Edison to no end if they have other opponents of quality.
Yep.
It's
and-
not going to help them if they're playing the little sisters of the, or
Right.
you know what I'm saying.
Sure,
It's
no,
right.
and you've seen that every
Yeah.
every ball they've hit, they've pulled down the line. Oh, and they
Ooh.
couldn't get her.
I think she would have beat it
Yeah,
anyway. But
she would have beat it. Lauren wasn't on the bag. I think she was ahead of the bag. I don't know that she was expecting that play.
Yeah, good punch up though by Swanee as she came up firing, and normally it's right there this game. I mean,
Yep. What do we got here? 9 or is it 8?
yeah,
8, 9-2.
9-2.
9-2. 9-2.
Well, this swings right through it. So
Nice job. Sam.
good job,
was-
Mackenzie battled it.
That was
battled through.
Mackenzie's 8th strike.
That was her 8th
Eighth.
strikeout. So nice job, Mackenzie's holding her own this game, and
Taking
and
my batting gloves off.
Yep,
I'm
boy.
back on the bench.
We
now.
were a little worried, John. John went to the batting gloves. We weren't quite sure if we were going to make it, and now he's got the practice ball out. So after 4.5 complete, or is that
5.
Five.
Because we're home team. Yeah.
5 complete? I'm sorry. No. We're in the
4.5.
bottom. We're in the bottom. 4.5, right?
Bottom 5 coming
Yeah,
up.
that's right.
Oh, yeah, right.
9-2, and you can see we're kind of going slap happy here at the first broadcast. We're still working out the kinks.
Well, and I was just going to say we were talking about that last half inning before we got broke. The R&Rs. When I used to coach guys, I'd say, guys, I said, I don't care if we only have 11 players on the team. We're going to go, it's going to be relaxation and repetition, and we're going to inter-squad more than any team in the whole league. We're going to play competitive inter-squad games by us. I'm going to flap the equipment on, and, and it's funny to say, but it's the most basic thing, but you can't perform in games unless you're a pitcher and you're throwing live again. You don't have the level of competition. You guys all know that. I mean,
Yeah. No,
but
I
it's
think you're
funny
right.
it's so funny how many coaches don't want to inter squad. That's why I was so thrilled to see Al have the freshman and the JV play. I don't think he just played the one game, but so he's had
They actually had
4, 5, 6 girls got time on the mound today, and
And they had an umpire down there, which was great. And
Yeah.
and John, I think you bring up an excellent point, and you hear it a lot from a lot of coaches that you play in the games like you practice. And
Right.
so if you just slough off in practice, that's how you're going to play in the. You can't expect to perform a game. So they always talk about it's important to play game speed, practice game speed.
Right.
In anything, right? In basketball and
Well, it's
baseball, and so you
well,
really.
and I think the mistake a lot of times too with a Minnesota sports scene in the spring with the weather that coaches can easily fall into is you only get 20 games for varsity baseball or softball, right?
Depending upon the season,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
and last year, I think it was the 3rd year in a row the baseball team didn't get 20 in.
Yeah.
But the baseball team doesn't ever schedule double headers. Well,
Right.
Skip Chell would in the 9th grade coach,
Sure.
but and I think Al's totally decided I'm going to get 20 in irregardless of whatever, and we're going to do a lot of double headers, and he's going to hit next Wednesday, and he will have already seen 6-8 games, and then he maybe pulls it back and says, here's where we see some problems, and Lauren, I want you to throw a bunch of pitches against our A lineup in inter squads, and then you sit there and your girls are going to be hitting better, and I think it's really going to pay dividends come the end of May, even if you don't always notice it till then.
Right. No, that's an excellent call out. So this is Sophie Macklem Johnson. Sophie played second base, and then she's been out in center field tonight.
Oh, and I was still looking.
Sophie's one of our seniors this year, and she got to do some overseas travel and get some good educational experience in over one of the breaks this year. So I know she's excited about that. And talking to her mom Sue, she was saying that she's getting close to making a decision on college, and it sounds like she's got a couple good choices, maybe Grinnell or possibly one of the other in-state schools. So should be fun to see where all these girls end up. So ball 4, and Sophie gets a free pass. She's going down to meet Stephanie at first base.
And guys, we didn't even talk about this. 2 games, 11 innings, 10 innings. Lauren and Mackenzie have thrown 0 walks. Any walks?
Oh no, well somebody got hit. Mackenzie hit a girl. Yeah,
hit a girl,
right. Yeah, but I don't know that we had a base on balls.
I can go back and look.
I mean, I don't know. I may be wrong.
No.
I don't remember one.
Well, and John, you've got the best memory of anybody I know. So
I don't. But I'm just saying.
You do have the best memory.
I don't.
I swear, this guy can pull out information. I
cheated on the Edison stuff with the patents. So
no,
that was all cheating.
But I of all of my friends from the past, John can pull out detail that's just unprecedented.
Doubleheader Monday on the 14th against South.
Oh yeah, Minneapolis South. Okay, now and
the Tigers and JV also playing here on the other field, and they're also playing a doubleheader.
Okay, all right, there you go.
And we have to give you props. I don't see a walk in the book.
Okay.
There you go. So there's that, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Memory. John
but I'm just talking about it from come Wednesday's game.
Oh,
I don't know, maybe not as many strikes.
Yeah. Well, and South does have a really good pitcher, so we'll see if we'll see quite a bit of a difference there.
Yeah.
They usually have a couple of good players. The caliber of play on South is very good. They beat Park last year. One game I think was by 2, and one was by 3. But
and that's good level. It's in the South City teams, South, Washburn, and Southwest always seem to be pretty good in baseball too. I mean, a lot more numbers than the north side.
Sure.
Well, there's a free ride, and Edgar Winter back in play, as he says, free ride again.
And Mackenzie
third base line hit again. Look at that.
So that'll score Sophie Macklem Johnson. They call her SMJ, and Mackenzie gets another hit. She's at first safely.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what the over and under is on the number of balls hit between the third base person and third base in these 2 games, but
well, that's at least the 4th or 5th that I can recall offhand.
Yeah, it's just great position to play in this game, right?
Well,
if you're on Edison or shortstop too, right?
And it's interesting because you see she's way back. She's even with the base right now, so
right.
She does have a little extra time to react. What would you think about a bunt right here?
Totally. Well, I mean, but except you're already.
I mean, you've got the lead. You don't need to bunt, but
And you're gonna. It's a 2 more runs till you 10 run them.
Yeah.
And how many? I apologize.
10-2.
Yeah.
10-2. Yeah.
Exactly. So you got this is your end of run, end of
Oh,
game.
there's a rope.
And you're not even gonna need it because one's gonna score here. Then nicely
so
done.
Garcia comes around.
Yep, so you got the game-ending run on second here and a nice line drive again.
Yeah,
here.
Bella Halstead, that was well done. I believe that's her first hit of the season, so congratulations, Bella. That was a beautiful rope.
Yeah, and groove in the swing, getting more reps. Another young lady stepping up who's going to groove one here.
That'll be low.
Yeah.
So Lauren Resnick's up. She's playing third tonight, game number 2. We still have the same pitchers, Haley Irwin. She's been going for both games.
Big at bat last time for Lauren in her last at bat, as she stepped up with.
And now the runner's in there.
I was just going to say she batted last inning with 2 outs, nobody on after 2 really good defensive plays, and hit a line single. And then that started the 4-run, breakthrough. That was still a 5-2 game at that point, right?
It was great that John put his rally cap on for that because I think that did start it. It was beautiful. Resnick. Oh.
Ooh, do you think that was a change?
I don't know. I don't know.
There would have been a parked car definitely without some glass out there.
It got really windy out here all of a sudden. All right, so Lauren, now she's laughing at herself up there. She's ready. Let's see if she can do some damage. Oh, that
wow.
Was that outside? From our angle, it's hard to tell if those are outside or inside. We can only tell. Did you ring her?
No,
Oh.
I was doing the fake ring because it was.
So I think it's 2-1 on the count. I could be wrong, and we don't.
God, I wish I could bat in this game. I want to bat.
And that's going to be high. So 3-1. Oh, 4-1.
So Swanee, has Michael Ray Resnick ever told you about his extensive softball career? He and Mark Unzi were called the Daily Double back in the Hi-Fi Sundays. He is a right-handed batter. I would say 5 out of 8 times you could place it between the right fielder and the line on a line drive. He's literally just.
So is Mr. Automatic, huh?
Yeah, it was really fun though. It was
inside out.
You heard back at the '84 Cubs, it was Dernier and Sandberg were 1-2 in the order. They called him the Daily Double, and that's what we called Unzi and you. Remember that? The Daily Double?
We didn't have Unzi long enough. I wish we could have had him for more seasons.
He was a slick fielding shortstop.
Fun.
Yeah.
He could field. He could hit a little bit. Had a little bit of speed. It was fun.
You could play everywhere in slow pitch or fast pitch, though. I mean, you could.
Oh, I used to enjoy playing. Actually, one of the most fun I had was down at Parade Stadium playing modified fast pitch. That was.
I saw you play one time, and I remember seeing that. Yeah.
So much fun to play that. First of all, the fields down there were just impeccable. They had the real dirt. It wasn't this grade 5 that we're playing on now, but it was when you slid, it was powder, and it was nice. You didn't have to. Oh, there's a nice shot. That could be. Oh, a good scoop catch, and they're tagging.
That'll end it on the sac fly. Unless they say
Yep.
she left early, which I don't think they're going to appeal.
This is the bottom.
This is the bottom. That'll do it.
I think that
10
was
run
it.
right there.
Yep.
St. Louis Park as a home team gets the 10.
Now we shake hands.
We're home on both games. Yeah. So home team goes up for 10 there. Nice grab by the left fielder, and that's going to do it here in what was a 5-2 game last inning with 2 outs. You know, the error, then the single by Resnick. And
7, I believe. Sorry, John, but it looks like Steve has got the numbers here. 7 runs in the last 2 innings.
Right, and it really opened it up, and the Orioles decided to start swinging for line drives, a little lower swing plane, get the hands high.
That and the rally cap, those were the keys.
Yep.
Yeah, the rally cap. Well, I thought a really great doubleheader, and you know, my takeaway from this game, or doubleheader threefold: no walks, 2 pitchers. Fantastic. I don't care who you're playing. You know, Edison could have stood up there and coach could have said, hey, you know, take one, don't be aggressive, and they didn't. And, you know, and then the takeaway as well is my 2-star of the game goes to the Tommies defense, and I say only because they made several really good plays. Yeah, there was a couple plays that didn't follow through on. Great catch in center by Ray, the center fielder.
Center fielder Ray, yep.
And then 2 good plays from short, great play from that third, and a lot of real. And you know, the number 1 star to me was the pitching, but number 3-star for Park would just be the contact level and the confidence level of the girls building from probably Wednesday to today.
I would agree with you, John. I think that one of the big wins. One of the big wins was that it took the girls a while to figure out the velocity of the pitching and to figure out how to time it, because once they did, as you saw, the pop-outs that we were getting a lot of pop-ups because the girls were lunging at the ball, and you know they weren't really getting full extension, so we had a lot of easy, you know, kind of floater shots that weren't going. And then as you saw, second inning of game 2, we started really making connections. I think Shea had a couple of line drives, you know, right up the third baseline. We had Amanda Sully had a hit to center field. I'm going to forget somebody. Lauren had one up the middle, and we had Bella Halstead. So I mean, I guarantee I'm leaving somebody out.
Did you mention
Barr?
Yeah,
and Barr had the big shot to left field. So you know, every girl, it took them a little different time to figure out the timing. But you know, it's like anything. It's even in baseball, you run into a situation where you know, the pitcher does real well for those first 3 innings. Then all of a sudden, after the batters have seen them, you know, 2 or 3 times, then things are changing. So good stuff.
And my last point would be just that great medicine for the Tommies to see one of the conference's probably best pitchers in game 1, who can throw 3-4 different pitches, better velocity. But then Park goes with the younger girl who maybe doesn't have the repertoire, but plenty of strikes, and they timed as well that as they went on, they made much better contact. they swung much better in the second game. Is what
Yeah,
I'm
no, I
saying,
think
too.
you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right, and it did make a big difference because I think the timing was, the velocity from our first pitcher to our second is a little bit different,
Right.
And so they were able to time it a little bit as well. And so maybe who knows? Maybe that's something where next time you do it, maybe you go
the opposite
the
way.
opposite way, and then they won't be able to catch up. I don't know.
Exactly.
What do you think, Steve?
Well, my takeaway is a pretty good defense out there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maddie at short. I was surprised yesterday when
seven.
Shay told me she was a 7th grader.
Yeah.
Watching her make the plays today, I mean,
That is big time.
the fielding and throwing. She's
Yeah.
it's a good couple games, and even from the other day to today,
Yeah.
you can tell there's less thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just reacting
Yeah.
and making the plays you're supposed to make.
And 4 games in 2 days. They'll take the weekend off. Come back on Monday, folks, if you get a chance. If you're watching this game Monday the 14th, Orioles home again against the South Tigers here at Aquila Park. 4:30 and 6, I think, are the game times.
Yep.
I had a great time covering it.
Yeah,
I knew
I
I
did too.
would,
Thanks.
even if the game wasn't good. We would have. But
Yeah.
what a great tribute in a small way to the McManus family.
Yeah.
We'd be remiss if we didn't say
Thoughts and prayers going out to the family, and the community as a whole, just for all of the stuff that everybody's dealt with, and really proud to be part of the community, and really, love to see everybody kind of banding together. So again, the final score here for game number 2, Orioles 12, Tommies 2. I want to thank Ben, Misty, Paul in the truck, Steve for joining us. Thanks again. And as always, the voice of the Orioles, John Fromm. So from Oriole Park at Aquila Fields, this is Mike Resnick signing off, and we'll see you next time.
great job, Mike. It was a lot of fun, guys. Enjoyed it.
Take care.